Morning. It is June 12th, 2025, and we got an interesting Friday Junior ahead. Last night, we were doing the watch list. The futures were down by 0.5. Things were getting a little sticky. We had Middle East freak out. We had a little bit of trade. You know, I think they call it tariff derangement syndrome. That is what Besant said yesterday. I heard a lot of that this morning, but then the data came in. PPI, core PPI headline, it all came in lower. So once again, lower inflation data. The jobless claims was a little bit worse. It was actually the continuing claims is the highest since 2021 now. So that's a little concerning. But other than that, that led to a bid there on bonds. We're only down a quarter, and now we're still in this weird range. And then sadly, bro, I can't believe it. Yeah, man, there was another Boeing crash. So again, I mean, dude, I was just telling you guys about a lot of things, but yeah, that's sad, heartbreaking, and it's sadly something you're kind of used to. I know, it's terrible, bro, but yeah, it was in India. Over 200 people died, man. It was very, very bad. So prayers out to that, and we will see where everything else leads us. But Chattadonia, what's up, baby? You're blessed. Good morning. What up, Blizzy? PNC. Matt Fritz, Hailstone, Malcolm King, Gunner, Ayush, Mr. Edwards, Julie, Gunner, Christian, El Trapato, winning loser. Good morning, baby. What up, Blizzy? What up, Ivy, Gavin, Josh? Yay! Oh, good morning, Laker, Jay. Good morning, baby. What up, Connor, Mark, Dago, iPack? What's up, Dos Nacho? How you doing, Super Takeoff? Dev the Lurker, Anzel, Crystal, BDV, Godfather, Rocky Top, Gravy. What's up, baby? Kurt McGirt, Eaton, Ron, Humble, JG, baby. Good morning. What up, Mitch Watsono? What up, Zachary Browning? Oh, yeah, Danny B, Guido. What up, baby? Ion, William, Todd. Oh, the chat keep going. Oh, we ready to go? Fry, you guys ready to go? For real, I was a crackhead yesterday morning. I could do it again. Are you ready, bro? It's your birthday. Oh, no. For your birthday, bro. You kidding me? Are you kidding me? Bro. I'm getting you a brand new horn, sir. You hear that? I got the whole arsenal. Oh, happy birthday, baby. Happy. You got a brand new horn, sir. Amen. Amen. That means your birthday means long term. You know that? That means another year, bro. You're alive. You're blessed. Okay? The future is bright, my friend. You better believe. Stand on it. Oh my goodness. So Chattadonia, I hope you're ready. I hope you're feeling good. But don't let me get too hyped, man. Here is Josh AI with the news. Good morning. Stocks dollar drop as Trump renews tariff threat. Equities in the dollar retreated as dialed-up trade tensions and geopolitical unease set a broader risk-off tone across markets. Hold on. Trump just put out a True Social. The China deal is great, he says. Okay, continuing. S&P 500 futures dropped 0.6%, putting the U.S. benchmark on track for its first back-to-back loss in 3 weeks. European stocks also fell. The dollar slid 0.6%, nearing its weakest level since 2022. Treasury yields weakened across the curve ahead of a closely watched $22 billion auction in the 30-year note. U.S. President Donald Trump ratcheted up trade uncertainty with remarks that he intends to impose unilateral tariffs on dozens of trading partners in the coming weeks. Separately, market jitters intensified amid heightened tensions in the Middle East. The cautious mood is stalling a rebound in U.S. equities that had brought the S&P 500 within reach of its all-time high, even as questions persist over the economic impact of Trump's trade agenda. Resilient earnings and limited economic fallout have supported the rally so far, but traders are questioning how much further the gains can stretch. There's a resistance at this point to really add a lot of risk. Alistair Pinder, global equity strategist at HSBC Holdings PLC, told Bloomberg the reason for that is because people think that these tariffs are going to hit growth at some point in the future. And Oracle Corp rose nearly 9% in early trading after projecting a jump in cloud infrastructure sales, showing that its business of renting out AI-focused computing power is gaining traction. Meanwhile, Boeing Company shares fell 8%. A 787 Dreamliner aircraft operated by Air India crashed shortly after taking off in what stands to be the worst accident involving the plane maker's most advanced wide-body airliner. Thursday's 30-year Treasury auction will provide a fresh gauge of investor appetite for long-dated debt amid concerns that mounting deficits are dampening demand. The sale comes as Congress debates Trump's signature tax legislation, which some estimates suggest could add trillions of dollars to the U.S. budget shortfall, potentially requiring increased bond issuance to fund the deficit. And we know that Trump is watching these auctions closely, so investors will want to wait to see if there's any reaction from him if the results don't turn out well, said Benoit Pellouet, Chief Investment Officer at Natixis Wealth Management. The dollar's retreat on Thursday extended losses for the year against a basket of currencies past 8%. The greenback had already been weighed down by softer than forecast U.S. inflation data, leading traders to fully factor in 2 quarter-point Federal Reserve interest rate cuts this year. U.S. producer price data due later Thursday will offer further clues on the inflation outlook. While the equities down, yields down has been a familiar risk aversion combination over the years, it's also notable to see the dollar firmly on the back foot as well. Something is changing vis-a-vis the dollar's behavior, and it isn't obvious what will turn it back. And Cameron Krice, Markets Live macro strategist, oil-paired Wednesday's surge of more than 4% as traders evaluated Middle East tensions against the latest news on U.S. trade policy. West Texas Intermediate traded below $67 a barrel, while Brent was near $68.50. American authorities ordered some staff to depart the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad after Iran threatened to strike U.S. bases if attacked. CBS reported that U.S. officials have been told that Israel is fully prepared to launch an operation into Iran. Corporate news: a Boeing Company 787 aircraft operated by Air India that was bound for London crashed shortly after taking off in Ahmedabad in what stands to be the worst accident involving the U.S. plane maker's most advanced wide-body airliner. Tencent Holdings Limited is studying a potential deal for Nexon Company as the Chinese internet giant looks for ways to bolster its lucrative gaming operations. Bloomberg News has reported Deutsche Bank AG's fixed income and currency traders overcame a choppy start to the second quarter and should deliver a better result than a year earlier, according to Chief Executive Officer Christian Sowing. Warner Brothers Discovery Inc.'s decision to split into 2 independent companies is a sign of a broader shakeout across a media industry that has become increasingly dominated by streaming and on-demand services. Netflix Inc. co-chief executive officer Greg Peters said New World Development Company has received more backing from banks for its $87 $5 billion, $11.2 billion loan refinancing, giving it written commitments for 87% of the total. People familiar with the matter have said Airbus SE predicted the global commercial aircraft fleet will double in size to almost 50,000 planes over the next 20 years, spurred by rapid growth in markets like India. Oracle Corp projected cloud infrastructure sales will jump more than 70% in the fiscal year that began this month. The firm's shares rose 7.6% in pre-market trading. BioNTech agreed to buy former COVID vaccine rival CureVac NV for about $1.25 billion in an all-stock transaction that will boost its growing oncology business. Top overnight news: trade tariffs. Trump repeats at some point he will unilaterally decide terms of trade deals with other countries. Bloomberg Axios. Trump says open to extending July tariff deadline, but does not think will be needed. Reuters. China affirmed its trade deal with Trump, emphasizing need for both sides to honor agreement. Reuters. Japan PM Ishiba repeats he won't rush into deal with U.S. ahead of expected Trump meeting. Bloomberg. China demanding sensitive information from rare earths buyers, raising concerns about data misuse. Exposure of trade secrets. FT. Weaponization of export controls seen as risk to global supply chains, prolonging uncertainty for companies. Link. A U.S. agreement with China leaves truce on shaky ground with much to be negotiated. Politico, Reuters, New York Times. Vietnam's trade minister engages Nike and Walmart to strengthen ties ahead of crucial trade negotiations. Bloomberg. Trump set to finalize a U.S.-UK trade deal, lowering tariffs on British cars for U.S. agricultural access. FT. Canada and U.S. exchanging terms of potential trade agreement. CBC. Trump's auto tariffs impacting Japanese firms, up and down auto supply chain. Bloomberg. Geopolitics. Israel may take military action against Iran soon, likely without U.S. support. NBC, CBS. U.S. preparing to evacuate personnel from Middle East amid concerns. Israel ready to strike Iran. Axios, Washington Post. Bloomberg. Sixth round of negotiations between U.S. and Iran set for Sunday. NBC News. Today. G7 leaders won't attempt to reach consensus on joint communique amid differences with U.S. on range of issues. Bloomberg. Pentagon reviews Biden-era AUKUS pact for nuclear submarines, shifting defense burden to allies. FT. U.S. warns of diplomatic consequences if countries take anti-Israel actions at upcoming conference on two-state solution. Reuters. Trump opened to talks with Kim Jong-un. Bloomberg. North Korea refused Trump letter offering to restart negotiations. NK News. Ukrainian President Zelensky regrets his chaotic meeting with Trump, emphasizing the urgency for decisions. Politico. Corporate. Boeing shares fall pre-market after Air India plane crashes at India's Ahmedabad airport. FT. Reuters. Bloomberg. Oracle guides revenue above expectations amid strong growth in cloud infrastructure business, doubling of orders. FT. Bloomberg. Nvidia and Samsung to acquire minority stakes in robotic startup Skilled AI. Bloomberg. Amazon consolidating control over Whole Foods, integrating its corporate employees into Amazon's system, programs. Bloomberg. Warner Brothers Discovery plans early bond buyback settlement on 30 June, affecting investment-grade index transitions. Bloomberg. Markets. Trade tensions and tariffs are top concerns for global investors, overshadowing other economic risks, survey shows. CNBC. Investors shifted funds from U.S. equities to Europe and EMs in May amid weaker dollar deficit concerns. Reuters. China raised yuan midpoint to a 2-month high, though below market expectations on Thursday. Reuters. Japan's share buybacks in 2025 proceeding at record pace as companies look to improve returns. Nikkei. South Korean assets seeing strong foreign inflows around presidential election. Bloomberg. FT. Washington. GOP senators consider $30K cap on SALT deduction as a compromise between current law. House version. Bloomberg. House GOP's McClain warns Senate Republicans to make minimal changes to the Trump budget bill. Axios. See. Republicans aim to boost tax refunds and political fortunes with a $200 billion tax cut plan. Politico. Quinnipiac poll shows Trump's approval rating falling to 38% as voters sour on his handling of economy, immigration. Politico. Texas Governor Abbott plans to deploy National Guard amid protests against ICE raids in Los Angeles. Link. California Governor Newsom criticizes Trump's mental fitness, claiming he's not the same as before. Axios. Health Secretary RFK Jr. appointed 8 new members to immunization committee, including vaccine opponents. Reuters. Bloomberg. Trump launches website for a gold card, allowing permanent residency purchase for $5 million. Axios. Economy. Treasury recorded record $23 billion in tariff revenue in May, which may offset deficit in the month. Bloomberg. Economists estimate Trump's legislation costs $3T, but White House claims it will generate $8T. Yahoo Finance. Fitch Ratings downgraded its 2025 outlook for North American non-financial firms, citing high tariffs and inflation. Bloomberg. Japan larger manufacturer sentiment deteriorates further amid steep declines in autos. Bloomberg. Reuters. UK economy contracted 0.3% in April, first decline in 6 months with mixed sector performance. Bloomberg. RICS survey shows UK property prices at lowest in nearly a year. Housing market under pressure. Reuters. Australia's inflation rate rose to 5.0% in June, highest since July 2023, according to survey Bloomberg. Central banks ECB's Villeroy emphasizes data-driven decisions on interest rates remaining open to future adjustments. Bloomberg. Easing inflation across Asia puts central banks in position to cut interest rates, diverging with U.S. Bloomberg. RBI's outsized rate cut and shift back to neutral stance sows confusion for markets. Bloomberg. There's more. S&P futures, they are down by 0.3 Thursday morning trading off of the worst levels. Comes after U.S. equities finished mostly lower on Wednesday, reversing some of the earlier strength. Industrials, metals, regional banks, and airlines among the notable laggers. Energy, quantum, and nuclear among the standouts. Treasuries firmer across the curve with yields down 6 basis points. Dollar under pressure, down about 1%, with euro cross particularly weak. Gold is up by 1.9, best levels. Bitcoin is off by 1.6. WTI is down by 1.6 after rallying nearly 5% in the prior session. Trade and geopolitics getting most of the attention this morning. On the former, Trump said the U.S. would send letters of trading partners setting unilateral tariff rates following the expiration of reciprocal reprieve on July 9th. Echoed Bessent in suggesting some room for extending talks, though doubted that they would be necessary. More discussion in the press about how trade tensions have increasingly focused on export controls. Middle East is the key source of geopolitical tensions, with additional reports that Israel is considering taking military action against Iran. This was reportedly behind recent decisions to partially evacuate personnel from the region. Pretty quiet elsewhere. Latest data mixed with PPI softer than expected, but persistent upward trend in continuing jobless claims. Dollar weakness another area of focus, though the morning, and it's particularly incremental. Dollar down nearly 10% year to date, with Trump 2.0 uncertainty and deficit concerns, high profile headwinds. Corporate calendar quiet, though Oracle a bright spot for the AI theme. May headline, PPI was up by 0.1 month over month, below the 0.2 consensus, while April revised up to -2 from -5 in original release. Core PPI is up by 0.1 month over month against a forecast of 0.3. Service margins continue to increase, though offset from declining transport and warehousing. Initial jobless claims printed at 248,000, largely in line. Notes preview that there was upward pressure from residual seasonality. However, continuing claims came in at 1.956 million versus 1.91, highest level since November 2021. Later today, Treasury auctioning 22 billion of 30-year bonds following a well-received 10-year auction on Wednesday. Republican Senator Thune and Crapo meeting with President Trump at the White House to discuss reconciliation. Friday brings preliminary Michigan consumer sentiment, and that is it. Oracle boosted full-year guide, increase of guide, total cloud of revenue growth to accelerate 40 to 70%. Boeing under pressure on news of crash of 787-8 Dreamliner. That is the first ever Dreamliner that has ever crashed. CoreWeave reportedly selected to provide computing capacity to Google for new cloud partnership with OpenAI. Dan to sell off highway business to ALSN for $2.7 billion. AAOI a big on first volume shipment of data center transceivers. OXM results largely in line, but seen as overall company cut full-year guide. And then CVGW received unsolicited takeover proposal. Wow, Havivi. We have a good time. We make a move. You know? Yalla. So Oracle, they're up by 8 off of earnings. ONC up 5.5. FDA approves tablet formulation of Brukinza for all approved indications. Summit is up by 2.1. CoreWeave up 1.7 on the Google Cloud partnership with OpenAI. Datadog is up by 1.2. Wolf Research upgrade. Void G up 6.1. That was the IPO yesterday. Qubit 4.9 insider sale. Dan is up by 4.0 to sell off highway business for 2.7 billion. AMRX up 2.8. FDA approval of prednisolone acetate oflamix suspension. GT is up by 2.2. OSK is up 2.1. 792 million Army contract modification. CGTL is up 52. CVAC up 31. BioNTech to acquire. IPA is up 18. AI design GLP-1 peptide in vitro results in receptor activation studies. TIXT 15.5. TELUS non-binding indication to an interest to acquire TELUS Digital for $3.40 a share. AAOI is up 13. First volume shipment. CVGW is up 13. Got an offer for $32 a share. CRMT is up 7.1 off earnings. AUTL 4.9 updated long-term data Felix study. Prop is up 2.8. Roth Capital initiates buy. Cura 2.3. Updated combination from Comet trial. Gold and silver stocks trading higher, trading lower. GME down 15. 1.75 billion convert. Boeing down 7.5 off the plane crash. SMR down 3. AR down 3. Net down 3.2. Offering 1 billion convertible senior notes. TEM down 3. HIMS down 3. Tesla down 2. Affirm down 1. Steven initiates equal weight. SoFi 1.8. Stevens initiates overweight. Celsius down 1.6. Stifel resumes buy. Myrna down 1.6. Active talks with potential partners over funding of late-stage vaccine trials. VG down 1.3. UBS downgrade. INSM 1.1. 7.8 million share offering. PPTA 300 million financing. Down 17%. SBET down 8. Caro down 12. 1.5 million share offering. UNFI down 2.3. North Coast downgrade. TNXP down 21. Mixed shelf. HYMC down 18. 40 million offering. JEM down 15, recent IPO. STEM 1 for 20 reverse stock split down 12, and HPP down 4. Pricing of warrants and Bitcoin stocks trading lower. And that is in. Then you got a Boeing headline from the FAA, prompted by reporting loss of transponders and interference if not fixed could lead to loss of separation. If not fixed condition could lead to mid-air collision. This is not even related to it. That's the crazy part. FAA proposed new airworthiness directive, and it has nothing to do with the plane that just crashed. That's crazy. So, other than that, Chatadonia, how you feeling, man? It's your birthday! Oh, why so many birthdays? It's a blessing, baby. Horn out. Oh, yeah, we got the new horn out for the birthdays, bro. Let's go, man. That means another year for the long term, bro. So y'all is blessed, bro. I hope y'all realize it. And you know, I think that's a perfect segue, because every day, man, every year, it's amazing. And I hope you're grateful that we're still alive, bro. It's amazing that we're here. And every day, and you're like, wow, we get another year. But why do we have another year? Why do we have so many things? And that's what we do every morning, bro. We got to honor the main reasons why and pay homage to those who have made the sacrifice. And while we could all enjoy our daily lives, do not forget the history and foundation that you have built it off of. And that is why every single morning, every single day, baby, we got to give a huge special shout out, active service, past service, anybody who has served this country. For real, baby. God bless you and thank you, man. If anybody should be getting a long term, if anybody should be getting a crib, it should be you, my friend. And thank you, thank you, thank you. And all my people listening who haven't served, all the young guys, I hope you bring this to real life. Bring this culture out there, man. What kind of society doesn't honor those that gave everything? Are you kidding me? So veterans, God bless you all, man, and thank you to your families as well. I hope we can help in every capacity to the same degree you've already helped us. So God bless all of you, and big shout out to anybody else out there giving back to their local communities. Doctors, nurses, teachers, firefighters, police officers, the janitors, the coaches, the garbage men, anybody making their community run, baby. God bless you and thank you. But ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Place your right hand over your heart. Say it with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all, baby. Son of the judge! Oh, it's game time, baby. Horn! Oh, yeah. Chatadonia. Chad, you know there was a play. You know that? I don't know. There was a play on that pre-market list, bro. You know that when I read it there was a play on there, bro. They told you. There was two, actually. So God bless America. Oh, we got good time, baby. I'm telling you, I'm not going to tell Gen Pop. They didn't see the list. I'm just telling you, that list I just showed you, there was like one or two on there, bro. You know, you get at least one or two that you cherry pick in the morning, bro. I'm telling you, you know, I'm just saying. So it's game time, baby. Thank you to the veterans. God bless every single one of you. I will see you in Gen Pop. Let's have a good Friday Junior. Who's with me? Are you with me? I hope you're with me. You just had your first kid. Wow. That's another long-term right. To all the birthdays and new life, baby. God bless y'all. I love it. So, Chad, I will see you on over. Let's have a good one, baby. Yeah, let's make it a good one. Game time. Peace. I'll see you soon. It's not forever. Don't worry. I'll be back.